What's going on, guys? It's Lady B. ATN is back in action with more Town Hall 14 wars, and we've got the legend of the Empty Slammer. Stay tuned. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a mighty champion, and his name was Vala. Vala came in, as usual fashion, with the best Lalo, fighting his way through troops and enemies, and barreling his way through to victory. And one thing stood to the very end. It was his Stone Slammer. Now, the Stone Slammer was never opened up and never revealed, but legend has it that it was empty. And he went through to victory with no clan castle troops in his Stone Slammer. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today marks the 6th battle for ATN in ESL Meisterschaft. They were in their 6th match day going up against Odins Wrath, who we saw them face off in the first day. So what we're going to see is the progression of ATN having to face off against the teams a second time around in this group stage. So it's a total of 10 matches in the group stage. They play each team twice. And you're just going to have to wait and see what happened. I mean, we had a near perfect war going into Town Hall 14 in the last matchup, which was pretty incredible. 1% away from the perfect war. Question is, did Linade bring his mighty yak? And what's up with the legend of the Empty Slammer? Well, you'll have to stay tuned. Let's see. We've got the first attack coming through. Vala is in this war. You can see the lineup right here. We've got the stats working now for Town Hall 14 today. Woohoo. Thank you, Joel. So we've got Optimus Prime for Odin's kicking off the first attack, and we've got some super witch action. And I do see the Electro Owl being used with the Warden Walk to lead this off. So it is taking quite a bit of damage, particularly from that scatter shot there. Not going to last too much longer. But again, when we do see it in use like this, what happens is we get a lot of great value in speeding things along. And it is down for the count now. But the Wardens cleared out a pretty good path, solid path, and a quick work through with the assist of the Electro Owl. Enough so that we want to see him take on the scatter shot and get it taken down before he drops in the Super Witches. King on the outside edge. What is he working with? With the Yak, that mighty Yak, a nice combination with the King, particularly along the edge for cleanup because it works through so much quicker. Friendly COC, thank you for the follow. Especially with that Siege Barracks. I like this combo. Super Witches moving in. We've got the Queen underway, and the Queen is the one to actually work with L.A.S.I.E. We're going to see the Royal Champ skirting along with the Unicorn by her side to get a little extra value. And look at this. With the Super Witches, we've got some Yetis coming out of that Siege Barracks to work inside the base and help take care of some of the cleanup inside, give a little extra powerful push. But the King didn't survive long enough that we actually get the cleanup working around from that 6 o'clock side. So we're going to see if this is going to be problematic when it comes to time. We have yet to have the Royal Champ drop, finally getting it down just along the 7 o'clock edge. She'll take care of the defenses. A couple of wizards actually will help with this cleanup here, which is nice. And how much are we actually getting out of those Yetis? Quite a bit, considering they're helping to pick off. We've had one Yeti die out, and the Yetimites help quickly take down those defenses, and we're getting just a little bit more working through. Super Witch is still hanging on strong, and we've got an invisibility spell that we can use for the Royal Champ if she gets in a sticky situation, though it can be used for the Witches as well, particularly since we have the single targeting Inferno on them. I'm curious to see if he wants to burn through this quickly or if he's just going to let it ride through. Looks like he lets it ride through for the meantime, as the Royal Champ is taking on a lot of damage, doesn't want to force this ability too early, does have to launch that off, but the invisibility spell can get her out of the sticky situation along with the freeze. We've got a freeze to help hold things off, but it's that defending Royal Champ and nothing left in this base that is going to absolutely roast this one. Even with the Headhunter, I'm not convinced it's going to be enough to get the job done here, but let's see. The patience, if it pays off. 15 seconds on the clock. Patience isn't going to be enough. We need more than patience here. Not enough time to get this one done. Does freeze up the Royal Champ. Gives it a fighting chance to get the RC knocked out with that Headhunter. Nice use there. But again, time, the biggest factor on this one. And there's not enough of it. So Vala holds strong on a defense. 88% might put ATN in a pretty good position. I mean, yeah, totally. Dark Unicorn's my second favorite team other than ATN. Okay, let's talk about the attack here so I can get myself out of the situation temporarily. I know it's going to come back to me later. We've got Boom coming in with a Zap Quake. Lalo, I don't see a log launcher, so it doesn't look like we're going to go for a huge dive coming in. But we do have the heroes alive and well. We come right on the outskirts of the town hall, and this is why we don't need that huge dive coming in with the log launcher, because the town hall is situated right there on the outside. Easy pickup with just a single ice golem to give some tanking. The king and the yak combination, queen and the unicorn. Oh wait, excuse me. The king and the unicorn combination, the queen and the yak, is a nice combo that we see for these SUI openers, because that yak offers a ton of value typically, bullying its way through the walls and through some of the defenses. Now, we didn't need to get too much further in. We just wanted to connect as much as we picked up inside the core of the base. And it is looking pretty solid, especially with the queen hanging on to her ability to finish the job here with those pups. Royal Champ looking to take out that scatter shot. We want to see the bow go down. Ideally, we want to see this Royal Champ go down as well. See if the queen has enough fight in her to get it done. Yes, indeed, she does. Royal Champ, ooh, skating by to get that scatter shot down and just gets the job done. I like that Boom has been very mindful, hanging on to some loons, and knows that that Expo needs some more focused onto it. We had the Stone Slammer doing some good tank work, and actually the loons backtrack for it, so he's going to have additional support coming into the core of the base, where we'll have the loons riding along the outer edge. We might find some traps along the way there. It's nice to see the Hound kind of along the side, because maybe he can pick some of those ups before the loons get in there. It might be the loons that actually trigger these traps. Unfortunately, looks like there's none to worry about. None to worry about along that outer edge. Here we go. We see them coming through as the loons make their way to the back end. And yes, we do have a Tesla farm to worry about. But when you have 500 loons left over and a haste to sweep them through, plus a Hound tanking, there is nothing, absolutely nothing to worry about. Beautiful opener here, sets up the path for a nice push on the Lalo, and with that, Boom shows his exceptional skill and pathing with his Lalo portion of this. Tons left over. I mean, he's got enough loons parading through this base that he could start up an entirely new raid through and through. GG, way to get the war started for ATN. So that's why I say Queen Walkers. I'll talk about Dark Unicorns after this. So we've got Pavi coming in for Odins Wrath. You don't know my actual name? Yeah, I don't give out my actual name. I like to keep a little bit of my privacy in my personal life to myself. Anderson, thank you for the follow. So Pavi coming in with I'm looking to see if there's bats, with the Zap Drag. And I noticed we've got 7 Skelly spells. So he's going to do this very similar to the way we typically see Inferno Drags. And I've only seen this maybe one other time. I'm curious. I got to take a look back and see if it was the other Odin's War that I actually saw this come through with. Now, we do get the heroes situated on either side to start shaping up the path for this. King and Queen working together. We've got the Yak Unicorn combination, which seems to be one of the favorites. You get a lot of power out of that for some outside push and some inside dives into the base, but pretty much for anything you want to clean up and get a good amount of value, this is a combo you want to use with your King and Queen. Dragons with a nice push in, just slightly fanned out, a little bit too heavy on the outer edge. Let's see if they pull back through. We do have the blimp sailing across to take on the town hall here, but we ideally want these dragons getting back into formation inside the space. The ones that are inside the core are doing some good work. That loon tanking all day, every day, but we are going to have that Hound pop. And it means the dragons get slightly distracted. But this is where these skellies actually come in handy, because as the dragons are distracted, taking care of the pups, this scatter shot on the back end poses 0 threat to the dragons, and they can work their way through. Royal Champ coming in from the outskirts, but she's got to take on the single targeting Inferno. She still has her ability and is going to need to force it to get through the single. She does help out the dragons quite a bit, but they've thinned out considerably. We do, however, though, have the king alive. We just had the queen alive, who died out at the very last second here, but that single did not go down. This is not boding well for Povey. Even with the king, even with the warden, we are going to see damage being picked up through and through. Though this warden is helping out quite a bit, the unicorn, I fear, is not going to be enough to keep this king alive through the expo as he takes on the remaining damage coming in. One by one, they pick him off, and that warden died out. And with that, we've got another 88% here that we have something in the works. Do we have one little skelly? Do we have one? This is like, where's Waldo? Do we have one little skelly on the board somewhere? He's gonna be trapped. Oh, hello. Oh, hi you. Oh, look, and you brought friends. There's like 3 of you. There's like a couple of little skellies from, did we have witches? We had to have had witches. There's like 3 of them. Look, he brought friends. This is adorable. This is exactly what you want to save. Can they do it? Let's go, skellies. They can't end it. They're not wasting time. They cannot end it. It's in the rule books that you cannot force quit an attack because that would actually make a difference in time factors. So you have to think about that. Like if it did come down to some sort of tie, you can't force quit like that in case it did come down to time. It's also bad sportsmanship. So 88% we're left with. Unfortunately, those skellies couldn't get the job done. It gives you an extra second. Come on, that gave like an extra 20 seconds of content we would have missed out on. So Vala, I'm looking for the log launcher. I don't see it. I see some Zapquake Lalo though. Is he going to switch up to the log launcher? We've got a nice push in. We're coming far away from the town hall. I would think log launcher, but we've got one super wall breaker. And maybe with the yak, he's hoping to see a lot of power with the yak actually opening up the wall, which means he can use a stone slammer for the Lalo portion. So king and queen working together. One wall breaker to get that opening to the scattershot chamber. The royal champ clearing the path out towards that town hall there. You do have to contend with the clan castle troops and the king simultaneously. And it's an inferno drag that comes right out. Nicely timed poison in place to keep the king down and keep that inferno drag down. And it'll be a perfect position for these pups as well as they converge together. One more poison to keep them under wraps, and the queen hanging on to this ability. So we did not get the town hall down, and it doesn't look like we're going to get the town hall down, but this is where the stone slammer can come in to get the job done. So Loon's pushing through, Hound's taking the lead there as the queen tries to finish off that multi-targeting inferno. She does get it done, and we've got a nice easy path. Again, the one thing that we have to worry about is that town hall, but it wasn't activated, so we needed to wait temporarily till we hit that 51%, and we got it, so we can send in the stone slammer. One sneaky little loon to check out for any possible traps and ensure that the stone slammer can work its way in and take down that town hall. Loon's still pathing nicely. We've got 4 more loons, and we've got another hound to push in and tank. Nicely timed Warden's Home keeps those loons safely past quite a bit of damage, including the splash on the back end from that wizard tower, and the haste ensures that it gets there quickly enough that it doesn't actually wear off. With this, a minute on the clock, Stone Slammer only needed just to take down that town hall. Every other troop inside completely wasted, not needed, unused, as Vala sails his way through to a 3-star. Second one on the board for ATN this match. Yeah, Town Hall was just demolished. Nothing there to protect it. Town Hall versus Stone Slammer. Easy win for that Stone Slammer. Legends say he took an empty slammer. Imagine. Oh my goodness. Imagine. Can we take a look? Let's see if we see on the replay. Will it show us if he didn't use it? Let's see what Royals got in. If you Vala, you just pretend he had nothing in it. Well, maybe we'll ask. Maybe we'll see if we can get this into the video. I'll ask him after stream if he can record the answer. So we've got, it's been so long, I can't even remember the name of it. Electron. Electron? Yeah, Electron. Lolo. I haven't seen this in, it's been 84 years, Jack. And I haven't seen an Electron in that long. I'm like, wait, I couldn't remember the name of it. I was like, Clone Bone? No, that doesn't sound right. There's like a ton. There's like a ton. Wasn't that a thing? Like with cloning bowlers and miners? Polyvoid, thank you for the follow. So we've got the push coming in with the Electron. And now we've got the heroes working together. Ice Golem doing phenomenal work tanking. YOLO Electron is a good name. Yeah, but that was a YOLO-tron. But that's a different part of the strategy. Nice power push in. Double poison to help work through. But we still have troops. We still have CC troops coming out and coming for the Royal Champion. The Loons actually help distract this, which does work nicely to keep her moving along safely through. Queen's got to force the ability with a single targeting Inferno targeting on her. Loons need to continue pathing through. What we want to see is the Royal Champ taking on that multi-targeting Inferno to keep a straight line path for this Lalo push. They're doing great. It's just the defending RC inside the base, but Skelly's easily hold her off. Very nice as the Loons path along. This Electro Owl, look at this, doing some phenomenal work. And his own Royal Champ helps out. Like, that is ridiculous. Beautiful push in. We do have the Ice Hound just hanging on here, but the pups will help out quite a bit. And we still have a freeze and an invisibility spell to get through the back end of this. I cannot believe that this queen actually managed to go unscathed past that single targeting Inferno. He did drop the invisibility spell just to try and keep her alive a little bit longer, but there's not a lot of support to try and finish off the job here. Can the Headhunters take down that single targeting Inferno? It's a nice shout because they hop the walls, they get over to it, but they get hung up on the Skelly trap. Oh, the builder hut on the outside edge, just holding the defense stronger. That Electro Owl giving it its all. Look at all those traps in the core. This is why you want to avoid this. Holy traps, Batman. 4 seconds remain. It is a frenzy of troops trying to get through, but there are traps left and right, and it is not enough for Royal to get the job done. I gotta say, to the base builders, they have been try-harding. Wow. Wow, our base builders have really been try-harding. I was just too excited with all these traps. So many traps. Claudia, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, welcome. Can we get a shout out for Claudia? We've got AST coming through. With more Lalo action. We're getting to see a lot of Lalo. We're getting spoiled today. I noticed we've got the wall wrecker. No Zapquake on this one, but we do have Skellies to help distract the opener here. As Ast brings in the Royal Champ, distracts the Queen, distracts some of those defenses, including that multi-targeting Inferno. But most importantly, the Queen, because the Headhunters and the Royal Champ together are able to take her out. And that gives a value to take on this entire chamber with just the Royal Champ. So the King and Queen can move their way in, take on the Town Hall, and take out the Clan Castle troops. Again, we see this reoccurring theme with this combination on a lot of these openers. We have the Yak and the Unicorn together with the King and Queen. The combinations will vary depending on, who's going. But we do see this combination quite a bit. Ice Golem's coming through. We don't need the log launcher, obviously, because we're coming straight into the Town Hall. So with the wall wrecker, just enough to get the walls open and get the King and Queen through this deadly chamber. This was nicely timed on the freezes and the poisons to actually keep this going alive. Wow. OP value on this one. Nice use. Queen ability is going to get the air sweeper down. And I don't think too much more of value. Would have been nice to see the Tesla go down. But in any direction, we've got the easy path shape that Ast was hoping for on this one. Because we've taken down the Town Hall, we can use this Warden ability coming in through towards the scatter shots, where we actually going to have the double combination of the scatter shots. So coming into that back end is going to be huge because we also have the multi-targeting Inferno to worry about. Looking good so far. Rages everything up, holding on to this ability until he reaches that apex right over top of the Stone Slammer, and he gets that beautiful spread out of the Loons, which gives it so much value on the cleanup of the defenses in this back end. Now, the only thing worrisome would be the King here, but we've got some Loons chasing him down, and we've got tons of time on the clock to finish the job here. Ast coming in with just another lovely Lalo and another 3-star on the board for ATN. These guys are going absolutely ham. 3 for 3. They are not backing down here. Yeah, I was a bit bummed to not see DU get the win. Mostly because I was hoping to see Wassman for the interview. Mostly because I wanted to see that interview. And then secondly, because I wanted to see DU win, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. So we've got Chilluminati coming through and rocking up. I'm looking to see if there's a clone spell. No, I don't see a clone spell. So coming in with the Yeti Blimp. Taking on the Eagle Chamber, does it successfully, and also with that, you can see the Clan Castle radius. It's a very smart push because it lures the Clan Castle troops to the outside edge where the Queen can pick it off easily and pretty much unscathed by the defenses along the outside edge of the base there. Lassie doesn't really stand the test of time with the Queen on this one, but does keep things moving along quickly, and good thing for the Queen that she stays just out of range of that Warden Tower. You don't want her taking on too much damage, particularly if the Warden Tower is around, because it's a quick knockdown. We've got the Loon setting in place to help pick up any possible traps along the way for those healers, and King on the outside edge here to actually help funnel the Queen inside to this Warden Scattershot Chamber. Loons doing their job, working through, and also actually helping to distract the defenses, which is kind of nice because it gives the Queen a little bit of reprieve. King doing some powerful work here alongside with that Yak. This is why I like this combination. Look how much you get out of this. Let's see, we've got that. Look at this. We had that one structure taken down just to give the King the meat that he needed to get into the Town Hall Chamber. This coming from Chilluminati is a very, very smart play. I absolutely love it. We do have the Tornado Trap outside of the Town Hall, though, that holds up the Yak, holds up the King, but with his ability, it's not enough to stop him. He got enough headway getting through and through and is able to power that King along. Queen with the jump is going for days and hanging on to her ability. And we have the Royal Champion to work through underneath the Lalo path. Now the Town Hall again has been taken down, so this Warden ability can come in clutch as we work through past this Queen Chamber into the Scattershot. This is where we want to see this coming off, giving it the most amount of value, helping these loons safely pass through the Queen and try to give them just a little bit more time with that haste sweeping through into that Scattershot Chamber there. So they just make it along. We've got the Royal Champ coming along, and we've got the freezes to hold off this Scattershot. This Queen is still alive and making her way to help pick up some of what remains here, including that King, so this doesn't go to a time fail. Loons coming into the back end defense, a splash tower structure with that Wizard Tower. But it goes down quickly. 29 seconds left, and there's no issue. He's got this one in the bag. Chilluminati picking up the first 3-star for Odins and doing that with style. This was absolutely beautiful. And what a dominating start he had. I really, really enjoyed that opener. So we've got Linnaid coming through now. Let's see. Yes, Linnaid has his Yak. I memed him, so I like to think that that gave him the message he needed to bring the Yak. So the Yak going to be working with the Queen. We've got, or with the King. We've got the Queen with the Unicorn, and we are going to see a nice hybrid coming through from Linnaid here. So healers down, working patiently through. And so we've got 1, 2 super wall breakers to open up the path for the Queen. Ideally picking up these, the Eagle and the multi-targeting Inferno within the Queen Chamber. I like the use of Hogs to help push this Queen along. Biggest problem here is this Tesla farm. We don't want the Queen straying. And with this, she kind of might. Is the cannon going to be her next go? Yes. Yes, it is. So he's going to have to adapt. And unfortunately, we have the healers and the Unicorn getting targeted by that multi-targeting Inferno. Remember, the new multi-targeting Infernos, which it doesn't look like this is, but the new ones have that extra beam to actually take things down. Unicorn down for the count, but we have the healers survive and working through. So with the Queen taking on the Town Hall here, taking on the defending Queen, it looks like Linnaid is slightly adjusting with his plan. And how long can we keep this queen alive? Headhunters come in to give some relief to the queen, working through. Hybrid coming in on a pretty wide path that we'll see settling in as it works towards the multi and the scatter shot. What's going on? Avi, thank you so much for the host, but this is where ideally we want to see the warden ability coming in. As they start pathing through, that's double duty. If they're in a nice straight line, going through the multi, going through the scatter shot, it's the best part for them to get this. It does manage to clip a good chunk of them. A good chunk get through safely into these compartments, and we have the Royal Champ cutting inside that line to take on the multi. Heal is down for this Royal Champ, and the Hogs that actually remain as they take on the damage from the splash items from that scatter shot. X-Bow is unrelenting. So is a scatter shot here, but we've got a huge pack of troops coming in for reinforcement. The Royal Champ launches her Seeking Shield, and she doesn't need too much of the reinforcement, so they do help her quite a bit to ensure that that scatter goes down. And with this, it is looking close, but I think Linnade's troops will overcome it. Royal Champ is hanging on by a thread here. This is an OP Wizard and Sneaky Goblin, by the way, because they're ensuring that this does not come down to a matter of time. Still need to sneak back into the core of the base to take on this clan castle with 14 seconds remaining. And all of the troops that we have left over, it's going to be more than enough. Linnade, not letting us down this time, pulls in the 3-star, all because he brought his Mighty Yak. I don't know. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that because, you know, any of these teams really can get the win, and ATN could easily slip up. I mean, we know now it is going to be the win for ATN with the going 4 for 4. Let's see how SME finishes up for Odins Wrath. Never rush. No. I used to be of that mindset until I had no time and wanted to start playing at a higher level. So we'll be rushing and nobody's going to stop me. I'm already at Town Hall 13. There's no end in sight. So we got a nice Yeti blimp to come in and help shape up the path. For this queen, actually, we got the wall break setting in place. Yeti's keeping her funneled along. And I actually do like the use of the yak here, though it does seem slightly short-lived, more short-lived than I would have expected to see coming through. Let's see if this Yeti is going to be enough to keep this queen moving along. Yetimites do take out the cannon, so that should be enough to actually force her inside this base. Very, very nice use to funnel. Queen setting in place. We've got the Sneaky Goblin to help clean up some of the storage structures around as well. That also helps ensure her pathing a bit more. And we're now seeing the formation shaped up for the hybrid to move in, starting from, I would likely say, the 11 o'clock side of the base, 11 to 12 o'clock into that scattershot chamber. We've got the jump setting in place for the queen to work through. She's taken on the damage from the scattershot, which is a nice time to actually sneak in the hybrid because they can quickly go through unscathed, and it means the heals and the warden abilities can be reserved a little bit later through this raid. Freeze holding off that multi-targeting Inferno. We've got the queen ability forced coming through and through, and we need her now that the ability's been forced to hang on long enough to take out the defending queen ideally, though we will have the Royal Champ to help out, but that's not what we want to see her Seeking Shield intended for. Queen on queen action, and it's a defending AQ that manages to survive. Let's see if the hybrid can move this along. We've got the healer swap over to the king. Not necessarily the most ideal spot, especially because he's in the core of the base. The king we want working on the outside of the base, keeping the miners, the hogs, pathing through inside to the defenses. So he's not really doing a crazy amount of work, but maybe, just maybe, he can come in and tangle up with the queen and take her down. We've got just a few miners remaining on this one. We've got the Royal Champ who's just launched that Seeking Shield, and it doesn't even make contact with the scatter shot, and everything coming to a halt as we get to the back end of this raid. Unfortunate for SME, we're not going to see the 3-star coming in to finish up their war, so they'll be left with 11 stars on the board here. You know, this king cutting across inside the base really did this dirty. Does not help the formation of everything, and also the queen not having her ability as she worked through into the center of the base, also a bit tough. Man like Yo-Yo dropping G's. I mean, ATN's won plenty of money to upgrade their bases as they see fit, considering they've won the World Championships in 2020. They've won ESL Meisterschaft 3 times around and countless other tournaments. So you can't blame them. Something sounds off because I heard it was like 65. Wasn't it 6,500? So 13,000 would be right if it was 2 bases. I don't know how Galadon did it for half the price. Okay, let's see. We've got Yo-Yo finishing it off. Question is, answer in chat, yes or no. Is Yo-Yo gonna finish off with a perfect war? Yes or no in the chat. So we've got the Queen charging her way along to clear out the path needed for this Lalo. Frank, thank you for the follow. Queen doing some good work. King on the outside edge. Again, I think this is my favorite combination. King with the Yak. I absolutely love. A lot of power coming through and clearing out the sides of the bases. So that final wall breaker is set and in place to get the Queen right into a juicy line of the core here. Now she's able to pick up the multi-targeting Inferno, though the Unicorn's already down and has suffered. The healers will suffer as well from the rays of that multi-targeting Inferno. And we've got the scatter shot and the Royal Champion to worry about. But let's see. He brings in his RC on that 3 o'clock chamber, helping to actually take the focus of some of these ground bows off the Queen as she enters the center of the base here. Headhunter to take on the defending RC. And it is just enough to get the job done with that freeze to hold off the ground bows. Absolutely love it. Queen coming through, picking off that multi-targeting Inferno. And she still has her ability, which means she can cut through the base here, right in the center. Use that ability, burn through the walls, and take on that other multi-targeting Inferno. But notice the placement of the Stone Slammer here coming through. Just from the start, it's a nice line push in, working its way so that if it needs to path to the to the multi-targeting Inferno, it can, and also in line of the scatter shot. So we have those supporting loons from the outside edge that work through, but we have the Stone Slammer that helps to take some of the lead here. Nicely timed ability that helps everything pass, not only the Town Hall, but some of the damage coming in from that scatter shot. And we've got 52 seconds left to finish the job. Ground bow gonna do absolutely nothing to these loons that remain on the board. And again, I highly suspect there may not even be any troops. Oh, okay. Maybe there are some troops in that clan castle. Gosh darn it. Imagine if there was nothing in there. Yo-Yo must not be as gutsy as Vala. That's all I'm gonna say. But he manages to come through with the 3-star and puts ATN in with that perfect war. I know, it ruined the surprise. Gosh darn traps. Oh, all those darn traps. So ATN sailing through week 6 now, 6-0 in ESL Meisterschaft. I hope you enjoyed the match. An incredible perfect war coming in from alternate attacks and some solid defenses to boot. And to answer your question, I did ask Vala whether or not there were troops in the clan castle, and his response was, well, we'll never know. So I'll leave it up to your imaginations. It was a pretty overpowered attack. I kind of think that Vala did not bring clan castle troops. I'm curious to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comments section below. As always, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button, and don't forget to check out the descriptions below because I've got a link to my social media where you can follow me, see what's going on in my life, and you can also find my Twitch link there where you can watch these incredible wars that you just witnessed live and root on your favorite teams and even hang out with some of the OP players. But that's about it for now. Until next time, this is Lady B. I'll catch you guys later.